I want to talk about uh the Star Wars Ahsoka episode, Ahsoka, the Star Wars, and I want to talk about the uh Anakin and Ahsoka Force Ghost, and it was one of the it's one of the story that participated at this moment is one of the best. You know, and then they put the flashbacks of Clone Wars from the anime. Ahsoka is like this. That's the only way they could do something like a time travel multiverse, and if they could do that, they could put a multiverse time travel of Star Wars and Anakin. It's like his last lesson. Padme or a call her Padme or Pat one. Oh, and then Anakin said it's not enough to show his last lesson. As they live or be gone. That was the lesson. And then like I know it's like it was kind of scripted that I wanted to see more like would have Ahsoka could live, you know? Because I don't want to see as the main character, like because he's really close to Anakin and Obi Wan on the era, and I know it's like based on the Star Wars trilogy. They would have like this like a made up thing, or she would have like she had a lot of chance, you know, would have give the where she managed to come back to the dimension of the war or something, the dimension of the time travel. I have mentioned this in the shorts. I haven't before this show was a thing. It was just a theory that I went a direction and that like this is really good, you know. You know that Bleach. You know that some movies reference come from like some cartoons like that get from like how like Resident Evil get their movie reference from the movies that they got inspired from, just like Star Wars does. And Anakin like live or be gone, and then it's the end of you, my master. You, I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you, or something. And Ahsoka is her heavyweight of having this burden of herself of taking care and finally meet Anakin, but perhaps it's a force ghost or a different dimension. Like I could do that, but I think there's always it's not like the multiverse. It's not that universe. Star Wars is not. It does have time travel, but it's not the same as the multiverse because the multiverse is just like um, different characters, different look like, or different era, different storytelling, and different multiverse. That's how Marvel does. In Star Wars, they do have their own multiverse, but it's not. It's just the time travel, and if you decide to interfere of the time thing, the time story, it would change. You know, she would have would have been nice if Sokka managed to could have convinced Anakin to come back to her to in the future, so could help. But if it was really or not, she would have not returned back to her future, and she would have just went back in the past. She has that moment where Anakin told her, "You don't get it," you know. But Ahsoka knew what she was doing. It's just that she. I thought that she would have had a better decision of telling Anakin um to go back together in the past, and Anakin and Ahsoka know what she's doing. She did had a chance to convince him to be good, in that moment when they become the flashback of the Clone Wars or something, and then Anakin managed to went back to their younger self, and they would have shown a live action show maybe in that direction. Like you know how Star Wars is, you know how Final Fantasy, or it was the original, and then somehow in Final Fantasy they went to a different direction with the multiverse and went to a different direction. You know, it's made up or it's not legit, but it's just a thing for fans to watch. It's not enough to see Anakin. It's good. It's one of the. It's a good thing to see Anakin against Ahsoka. And then, like an anime live action, like with Star Wars, have similar directions as Final Fantasy, where they brought a hero back alive, and Ahsoka decided to go with Anakin because in that moment when they were in the episode, tell Ahsoka, you didn't understand the lesson. Let's do this all over again. But what happened? Anakin decided to on patient and start fighting. You know, but and then Anakin said, "You still have some hope of being in the dark side." That what he said in the end. But like I say, Ahsoka, if she hadn't said that words to him in that moment where they where Ahsoka showed Anakin of her mission, her last mission, and told him right before they were split, before the Revenge of the Sith era, where Anakin became dark side rating. She had in that moment, she would have said, "Hey, let's start over and let's go back where we were and stuff," and then maybe that would have convinced Anakin to be good again. But they will go to a different direction. They probably will take another time a war or something. I just went to their own direction, and that'll be really cool to see another episode, another series, only of them. Those two main characters, and what will it be the outcome if they have taken that direction of Ahsoka, taking Anakin to a different dimension, going to the past, and then start over with this with the Clone Wars and just start over, and then Ahsoka somehow, but a smart way, somehow outsmarted Anakin, and then fix the past where she just left him, and that's how Anakin became the Darth Vader. She would have saved him, but they they didn't went to that direction. For me, it would have been nice to see a multiverse or stuff. He is the main character. That's a good thing that finally brought this episode and Anakin. And like I said, you know, I don't know much about cartoons, but it's like a reference to the movies or the games. Also, is a reference to another movie genre where that they inspired to me from Resident Evil. You know, Star Wars like Bleach, Ichigo, Kurosaki, and Rukia from Bleach is a reference to the Star Wars of the Clone Wars that they got from. That's how some creators got created, inspired to make their own series. You know, like Star Wars would have to make their own made up things if they wanted to, but I think they didn't want that. You know, they kept the original series. They would have done it. You know, they would have done the same similar to the Star Wars made up series that they made with the other characters to see for the fans or whatever, because they just want to see it before they decide to go to the original route. Like they still could do the original route, but it won't affect the series. But I think why they don't want to do that. That's why they did this. Now they everyone wanted to see if they want to see a multiverse. Oh, a similar to Final Fantasy, you know, like they saved Zack, but there's always a decision of when you interfere the timeline, you know, like that. It's like that. It would be nice to see if they would have done that with Star Wars, you know. They would have done that, you know. They would have to show more of Anakin in live action. Go back in the past with Revenge of the Sith. like a good ending, and then fix everything, and but Ahsoka will never return to her future, She will just go back how she was saved and got a second chance because of the other characters save her when they fought each other in the Clone War anime series. She would have died, but what happened? The other characters saved her. I thought that she would like they go make her the Ahsoka the White or something like that, like if it's from Lord of the Rings, Gandalf the Great. Run, you fool! You shall not pass, Gandalf. Or like, is the enemy of my master? You're a liar! You're with him! You have to take away from me! I brought peace and something like that. I don't know. And the they would have done this. It's like it's been a long time since I didn't see a series like this. Very good since the Revenge of the Sith. Like they would have done a different direction. They could have like we don't know what the story would be. It would be nice if they get hunted. It would be nice to see if they both changed. Ahsoka somehow being clever, and I thought that she would have been a lot smarter because the character gave her a second chance to live. I thought she would take that chance to go back and save Anakin, but I think she didn't. She would have done it, but I think they didn't. It would have been nice if they had went that direction.